So it's the 1st of December. No, it's not the 1st of December. So it's the 1st of January 2021. And I can officially say that I have bought no clothing for an entire year. Yep. You heard it right. An entire year. What a wonderful... Where did it all begin? So I've been studying fashion design for the last 2 years, nearly 3. Yeah, so many assignments to do, but anyway. And a part of me learned so much about how damaging the fast fashion industry is to the environment. So I was going into 2020 and I wanted new goals. I was like, okay, I've got the gym goals and I've got like money goals, but like, where's the environment goals and where's my like fashion goals? And like, it's so easy. The easy thing to do is to buy fashion, is to buy more clothes. But I was like, what's the thing that's going to challenge me the most? It's actually not buying clothes. I've always worn really nice clothes, if I do say so myself, I know. But I've always really liked, I don't know, working on my style, curating my wardrobe. But I realised it was just bulging at the seams. And I decided, okay, something massive's got to change. So I decided that on the 1st of December, why do I keep saying 1st of December? It was the 1st of January 2020. I said to my boyfriend, I was like, okay, I'm buying no more clothes for an entire year. And he kind of looked at me like very mad, but he kind of saw where I was going with this. He knew that obviously I want to make massive changes in the environment, and what better way to do it than in through my avenue of fashion. So, unprepared, I decided there and then, no more clothes. Nada. Zilch. Nothing. So, I kind of laugh now when I realise it, because like I did not prepare myself one bit. I like didn't buy any clothes to prepare myself. You know, like if you're going on a big hiking trip or you're going to Antarctica, you put in the long johns. No, Miriam did not even buy like any tights, any underwear, nothing to prepare myself for this. I had enough other clothes. I had like enough like, I don't know, trousers. Actually, no, I've ran out of trousers. But I had enough dresses, tops, jumpers, everything, pajamas, everything. Loads. I could sell it nearly at this point of so much. But I didn't prepare myself for the basics. But that's okay, because I had loads anyway, and luckily enough I still live at home, so I was able to rob tights off my mother, which definitely helped, because that was the hardest point, I think, definitely. Recently I did say on my Instagram that I had just about completed a full year of no buying any clothes. So I asked people, did they have any questions and were they interested in doing it themselves? I was so surprised by the results. Like, it was literally 50-50 in the end of who would be interested in doing a no clothes buying year. 50% thought I was crazy. And it just really got me thinking. It made me realise, like, why are those people thinking that what I'm doing is so wrong, in a sense? Because I know I'm going against the grain of society by buying no clothes, but I'm also, you know, really pushing boundaries in a new way of looking at fashion. I've always thought that there's been a story being told to all of us from society that if you don't buy this clothes, you're not going to be beautiful enough. And if you don't buy, and if you do buy fast fashion and don't buy sustainable brands, you're evil because you're not saving the environment. And I don't agree with either of them. I agree that there has to be a balance, completely, don't get me wrong. But I wanted to take a step back and just really decide for myself what my philosophy in this world about fashion, about the environment really was. And deciding not to buy any clothes was my way of, I suppose, venturing down that journey. And I really realised that so much of my shopping and my fast fashion buying was an avenue to feel needed, that I was worthy enough to be part of society, that I was like the fashionable type, or that I was like, oh, she's got great style, and oh, she does fashion, so she has to look fashionable. And it really made me realize I was going on shopping trips and buying out of comfort. If I had a bad day, run to the shopping centre or the mall and get myself some clothes to make me feel better, and it just made me realize that my behaviors behind my overconsumption of fast fashion and fashion in general was excessive. And definitely in 2019, I really started to take a step back, because I knew from learning so much in fast fashion or in fashion design that I needed to look at how I was viewing fashion. And, I don't have a budget to be buying luxury brands regularly that would allow you to wear a new outfit every time you go to a social occasion. I think very few people have that kind of a budget. And so I want to be really real with myself. Obviously I want to save money as well. So most of my money was going on fashion, unfortunately. And it was a great year for me to be able to actually manage my finances that in a way that, I just eliminate something, but I didn't completely make myself suffer. Like, I had a little bit extra money for, let's say, buying books or for doing courses, because I love learning. So doing courses and just having money that usually was tied up in a budget of buying new clothes that had to be bought a certain amount maybe every month in order to keep with the times, and allowing myself down different avenues that I wanted to pursue myself. So like, I have a massive love for sewing, and this year gave me such an opportunity to, instead of scrolling online buying clothes or loungewear mainly this year, it gave me a chance to actually sit down at my sewing machine and really focus on making outfits, and indeed masks. Made a load of them, but it just gave me an opportunity, because I stepped back from what society expects me to do and actually decided myself, actually this is what I'm doing. Say actually quite a lot. But anyway, I also decided that I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one that wants to challenge themselves in terms of fast fashion and not do any buying of any clothes whatsoever for an entire year. I can't be the only person that wants to make a massive change for the environment in terms of my fashion. There's so many accounts on Instagram and Facebook that are about sustainable fashion, yet it's always like, you have to buy sustainable brands or you have to stop buying fast fashion. I'm like, well, just take a step back completely and don't do any shopping and then decide. So that's why I've decided to create this challenge. It's called the No Clothes Commitment Challenge, and where you sign this pledge and you decide whether you want to do a full year of buying absolutely no clothes. It's very daunting. Yes, it feels like you're really suffering when you are being told no clothes are to be bought for the entire year. But I promise you, it's so liberating when you get to that achievement. Today is like the very first day where I can say, actually, I can go buy something. And I haven't got a clue where I'm going to even start, because I don't want to be like, woo, run to the shopping centre and get everything you want. It's not like that for me now. My mindset has completely changed. I'm being like, oh, I know I want them Spanx leggings, but I'm like, oh, are they sustainable? Oh, do I really need them? You know, definitely have not got enough trousers in my wardrobe, so maybe I do need them. But I'm really taking a step back. I'm really consciously deciding whether getting, you know, a pair of leggings or a pair of boots that I've been looking at for a long time. Are they going to be in my future? Are they going to last a long time? And whether they're going to go through season after season. That's so important to me now. Beforehand, I was like just willy-nilly just buying clothes. Now I'm like, okay, this has got to last me not just seasons, but years. Like genuinely years. You're going to see the same Doc Martens on me from when I bought them back 2 years ago. or was it a year ago? I don't know. I know. And you're going to still see me wearing them like in 5 years time and hopefully 10 years time. I don't know how long they're going to last because I wear them practically every day. But my point is that it's important that we make investment buys. So that's what I've learned from doing a no clothes buying year. But I also realised there was a website online that was able to approximately calculate how much carbon emissions you emit from just fashion alone. It was really interesting. I thought now, because I bought no clothes, I'd be like 0, but I wasn't. Because when I typed it in, I decided what I did, roughly speaking, in 2019, where I was buying maybe 2-3 items maybe a month, and I was doing like 30 washes a month, which is a bit excessive, but I was just being a bit more than I normally am. And if it was based on that year, I was emitting 386 kilograms, I think, of carbon emissions from that year alone, down to how often I shopped, how often I returned clothes, which is huge, massive problem. Because most of the time when you return clothes, it goes straight to the landfill. It doesn't actually be resold. And also your washing. And that's something I obviously have to work on as well, is my washing of clothes and how to do it most sustainably. And it really opened my eyes to see how much of a change I've made, because then when I did this year, it didn't actually give me an option to say that I bought no clothes. It was kind of funny. So you had to say you bought one item in the year, and you then filled in the rest of the details. So like, obviously I had no returns, I bought no clothes as well, but I had to say that I bought one thing for it to work on the system. And then I said I had reduced my washing a slight bit, maybe 15 washes in a month, because I live with like 4 other people, so it's hard to decide what I really was doing myself. So I just said a big number again anyway, and it came down to something like 80 or 86 kilos from 386, I think 380 we'll say, 380 to 86 kilos, which is massive. According to this website, that is the same as 5.3 flights from San Francisco to Los Angeles from 2019, down to 0.5 or 0.6 of a flight from San Francisco to Los Angeles. So I saved like pretty much 5 flights of carbon emissions from buying no clothes for 1 year. Imagine that. It's madness. I don't know, I think that's kind of mind-boggling. For something that's so simple, yet so many people think this is so challenging. That's the crazy thing about it. And I had nobody to do this with. I did tell like my family and my friends that I was doing it, but I really did this by myself. And I kind of want to give everybody else a chance now of starting this no buying clothes year challenge, but feeling that they have support and a community to do it with them. So on my website, you can actually sign the pledge. It's completely free, by the way, completely free. It's just for you to, I suppose, understand and get curious about, your clothes and your commitment to making a difference to the environment and yourself and your pocket too. Ding, ding. This whole course is just for you to, I suppose, decide if you want to do a no clothes commitment challenge, whether it is for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. You decide, and you look at the videos, you hear all my tips, I suppose, hear some of the stuff that you've heard on this too, but like it goes much more deeper into like the mindset that you need and like what's involved and the challenges you're going to face, because there's so many little things you never think about that when I said it on my Instagram, people were just like sending in questions of like worries that they might have if they decided to buy no clothes for a full year. Madness, like, when you think about it. All of this is on my free 7-day online course. All you do is just sign up. I think it's like email, name, I don't know, whatever, and you just get the access straight away. I'll then pop you into the Facebook group. You get to download the worksheets, and there's affirmations too, because I think it's so important that people realize it's okay to rewear your outfits. It is normal. And in fact, if you wear something and you really like what you're wearing and you rewear it, it actually gains in value for you. It might not gain value for the retail, it actually gains value for you because you will never want to get rid of it, because you have that one dress in your wardrobe where you're like, I am looking fly, and you never want to get rid of it. So it actually holds more value for you, which is, you know, amazing to think that that's how we need to change our mindset. We don't think about clothes that way as it is. So yeah, sign up for it. Subscribe to the channel, please, because I will be doing so many more videos, and I want to do lots of sewing transformations too. I have a stack full of fabric that I need to get through, and I really want to show you what I make and help you along with the way, and maybe teach you how to sew too. I'd love that. So yeah, subscribe, like it, comment, and please share it. It's so hard for us small little businesses and small little accounts to just get out there. Please share it. It's so important that we get out there, because I have an important message to send to you. I'm not used to cameras, I really am not. You should see the bloopers after this, oh my god. But yeah, thanks. And hopefully, if you do decide to buy no clothes, let me know. DM me, message me, email me, whatever. Please tag me in your stuff. My Instagram handle is So Sustainable. This is the name of the channel too. My name is Miriam. It is nice to finally be able to make videos for you, and catch you in the next video. Thanks.
What a wonderful